We're live and direct, and we have your Week 8 Power Rankings. Let's talk about why UNC just had to fall and why Boston College might just be rising in the top 10.
You are Locked On ACC, your daily podcast on the Atlantic Coast Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's edition of Locked On ACC. I'm your host, Candace Cooper, joined by Kenton Gibbs of Locked On Wolfpack. Each and every day, you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you download, subscribe to the pod from our YouTube page where you can join our community. You can talk through each week's competitions. More importantly than that, you can talk to us. Let us know how you're feeling. We have live shows where we do a little Fan Friday. Sometimes do Wednesday reads where we just read it down, let you know how we feel, and talk through it and get over it and on to the next week. We're talking about ACC Power Rankings today. We have 1 through 14 for you, so we're going to make sure that's very exciting. But more than that, we're going to get some serious live opinions, a live show that we have tonight. So we would love all the feedback if you're just jumping in. If you just got that notification, we appreciate it. Kenton, how are you feeling?
Because there are some very, very spicy moments here. Very spicy moments coming up here that, you know, folks are going to have some very strong opinions here, as we already see fans coming in with some rather strong and confusing opinions in the comments already.
Well, you know, we always do the weekly rankings. We always have had this past year of making sure that people feel like, okay, they're very much involved. And so right out the gate, every single Saturday, without fail, somebody is already saying, please don't drop us. Please add us in. Please figure it out. And I'm just here to say, we try our best. But some of y'all don't help yourselves. And we're talking about your respective programs. So just know, X-Man 88, we're doing the best we can with what we got.
And also, it's weird to say, are we going to give the team that's been at number one for 4 weeks now some respect? But I digress.
You know, never satisfied. Welcome to the world of hosting for all conferences, for all teams. So let's get into it, right? Number 14, we're going to start to the bottom because why not? Right? It gets real spicy in the middle today. Coming in hot at number 14, Syracuse. I feel a way about this. I'm trying my best to be positive, but Syracuse has found themselves in a trajectory that isn't positive, just straight downhill. And Dino, it's just we're writing on the wall. LinkedIn is getting popping. All the things. I hate it for you.
Coming in hot. Them boys are colder than your little brothers that say they ice cold with 06. Ain't nobody as cold as Syracuse is coming in right now. Those boys have gotten blown out in all of their last games. And I'm going to tell you what, I thought the bye week beat them. I tried to find the score, but they said the money line, the bye week won that game. So, you know, Syracuse is going through it right now. But very seriously, there are multiple teams that need to make adjustments after their bye week, and Syracuse is one of them, big time. Each loss coming worse than the last so far this season. They need to get this ship turned around immediately because the perennial bottom feeders of the conference have been eating a little bit. They done found themselves. They done lucked into a win or two. So it's y'all turn now.
Lucked into a win or two is crazy. But didn't you say if not, they have not won, they've lost by double digits every single game in October?
Yeah.
And that's usually when you find progress. That's usually when you start to get things figured out. You're starting to gel as a team. You're starting to understand coach and what he wants better. So it's a little perplexing that they have such a downfall.
The average score of their games in the month of October has been 40.5 to 5.
That's tough.
40.5 to 5.
And it's is it the loss of Sean Tucker? Is it the loss of Aaron Gadsden? Is it what about this offense? Especially because Garrett Shrader is not a bad quarterback. We've seen a lot of improvement from him.
They've lost. The thing is, people don't realize how much they've lost. You lose your starting running back. You lose a tackle who's playing in the NFL right now. You lose a wide receiver, tight end hybrid. That's a freak of nature. This is not Bama. You can't get away with losing that much and just be like, oh, yeah, this is nothing. We'll bounce back. This is Syracuse football with all due respect. So, I'm not overly shocked and surprised by this, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. Well, the only reason that Syracuse is at the bottom is that's because Virginia decided to get a dub of all the times to figure out they want to win against the conference team. I'm just saying. I'm trying to let it go. I'm almost there. Wednesday's when I have to let it go because we move on to week 9. But Virginia sitting at number 13. They ain't going higher because I still believe they just popped UNC in the mouth. They got lucky. But Terry, God, here we go. Tony showed himself.
Tony. Yeah.
Tony showed himself a little bit like, all right, I might do this thing here, football.
I'm going to tell you this much. After seeing Boston College turn around, anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. Anything is possible, in the words of Kevin Garnett. I'm the real KG, though. You know what I mean? We ain't going to go there, though. That's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is simple. This is a Virginia team that just put off, I would want to say, one of the biggest upsets in Virginia history. Like, very seriously. That is taking down the top 10 team on the road where I believe they were what? 15 or 20 something point underdogs. Like that's
we don't have to relive the details. Okay, thank you so much.
Wow, we can't even give them their props. We give everybody else they got on this show, but just because Virginia beat your alma mater, we got to be real hush about it. Oh, okay. Let's say it the way Candace wants us to say it. Virginia won a game against the team. We don't know who they won against. They won bigly. And we moved them up one notch, and that's it.
But here's the thing, right? Everyone thinks like, oh, you hate Duke. Like Virginia is my school that I just cannot stand the most. I cannot stand Virginia. Nothing about Virginia I like. I'm so sorry. I hate it for you. Biggest rivals when it was swimming, and it has not changed. So I don't care if we lose to Jimmy, Johnny, and Billy's team, not Virginia. Just don't lose to Virginia.
You lost to Jimmy, Johnny, and Billy's team if Jimmy, Johnny, and Billy were wearing a V on the side of the helmet. I mean, I'm sorry.
This is a family-friendly show, so I can't do what I want to do. But we're just going to leave that right there and go from there. Virginia, hats off. You bumped up a notch for being the worst. Okay, let's talk about number 12. A team that, normally had the slide, the pushes, and the tushes all together. But right now, it ain't working for them. Pitt. You got to find a will and a way because you really need to talk about it because you were very high on Pitt this season, and they have been like disproportionately terrible in regards to how you viewed them.
Don't trust those maple syrup eating Canadians on anything to do with a football field. If the ACC had hockey, I would believe in value and crew. But guess what? The young man doesn't understand. Oh, the first down's right there. Why would I slide short of that? And again, we talk about the irony of the fake slide and the real slide and all that good stuff. Ha ha he he. Why would you slide at all?
Let the slide go. That ain't the only reason why they lost. It's the fact
it's the biggest reason.
Yes, but here's the thing. You got the ball, like Wake Forest got the ball back, but your defense is your staple and your powerhouse and the reason for being sometimes. And I feel like Narduzzi got to explain it to when your defense can't hold off.
If I burned my house down because I was doing some type of drug, okay, and there were other people inside the house, but I was also wearing 2 left shoes when I did this, are the 2 left shoes what you would be paying attention to? No, you would say Kenton Gibbs, who was on crack, burned down the house, which you should say. Okay? I'm sorry to tell you that slide was burning down the house. Now, did they do other things? Did you let a third-string quarterback beat you? Yes. Did you let a third-string quarterback have a game-winning drive against you? Yes. Did you find a way? Did you not go for it on a 4th and basically inches with an offensive line or a, how should I put this, against a Wake Forest defense that is stout, and you thought to yourself, hey, I'm so scared of this defense, I'm just going to punt it and trust my defense, which has been shown to not be very good if MJ Devonshire can't find his way to the ball many a time this year. You thought to put them boys back out there. Listen, at the end of the day, all of those things are bad. All those things are bad. But you know what's atrocious? Blowing the game because there was nobody even near the young man. Like, I could understand if somebody was near him and he was like, hey, I got to slide to prevent from getting my head knocked off. No, the closest defender is 5 yards away. So you're right. I'm going to blame the Canuck every time.
Oh, my. I'm still holding on to the crackhead reference. I don't know if I'll be able to let that one go. All right, friends, let's talk about LinkedIn. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates that are available. That's why you check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. Go to LinkedIn Jobs Go to linkedin.com/lockedoncollege right now. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. We thank you to our friends at LinkedIn. Today's episode is brought to you by those friends right there, linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. We're talking about power rankings. We've only got through 3 because clearly we're all invested in this bad boy. We appreciate everyone who is listening live, who are listening in the audio space, is going to talk to us and tell us how they really feel when they come to our YouTube page, where the community gets very, very vocal. Wake Forest sitting at number 11, the team that beat Pitt last week, a team that, for all intents and purposes, are there. They have moments, they have flashes, but are very inconsistent. And so that's why they sit where they do.
You know, this is a team that won a game last week. Like, objectively speaking, with a third stringer, they pulled off a win. Much love, much respect.
Santucci.
But now, beyond the fact that they got a win last week, this is the dead last offense in the league in terms of points per game.
You know? This
is a team that needs to figure it out. I don't know what is going on in Winston-Salem. I don't know if it's they're struggling to figure out how to play complementary football. It's the offense that rolls for years, and the defense was atrocious, and now the defense is good and the offense is bad. They have to find a way to get both rolling at the same time if they want to accomplish what they want to accomplish here.
I completely agree there. It just seems like for Dave Clawson, who is such a very consistent coach in terms of how he disciplines the team and how they make sure that they're a very disciplined team, it's difficult to understand why they can't be completely balanced. So something to consider. Let's go to top 10. Georgia Tech sitting at the 10th spot, a team that for all intents and purposes is supposed to be decent, but then you get punched in the mouth by Georgia Tech, Boston College. And we're just sitting here saying, I want to believe, but give me a reason to believe. You can't get beat by a bottom feeder. That ain't going to help your case.
You know, Georgia Tech has been, I admit it. You got me, Halfley. I'm sorry. You got me, Key. You got me, Key. You got me drinking the Kool-Aid. Never again, brother. Never again. Unless y'all go and pull off that upset this week. Unless you welcome in the Tar Heels with a very, very bad time. Unless you give me something to say, you know what? Key and the guys are all right. Coming up very soon here, I'm done. You're not going to get my support.
Well, I'm here to tell you that ain't going to happen. So you might as well get over it. All right. Kenton needs a new teammate, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I mean, you told me something else wasn't going to happen last week. And what happened?
No, whoa. We can talk about it.
When I said that game was going to be closer than we think, did you not?
But you act like you said, nah, it's going to be an upset. Hush.
I didn't say it was upset. I said this game could easily be closer than we think. Which it turned out to be. It in fact did turn out to be much closer than we thought, did it not? You know, but I digress.
Yeah, he just had to get it kills you to stay on task. We're talking about Georgia Tech. So at the end of the day, you're not going to be all about Coach Key. You can't walk away after only 8 games. That's so disloyal.
No. Listen, I don't know. Who told you I was loyal? Who told you that?
Are you a fair weather? You said you run through at the beginning of the season when they had ACC kickoff. You were ready to run through a wall for Coach Key. You were all in. Quickly, how it's turned after 8 games.
Let me quote a former United States president and a booster to a new member of the ACC. Fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again. Okay. This man fooled me once. Coach Key fooled me once. He ain't gonna fool me again.
Number 9, NC State, which they keep floating closer and closer to the bottom. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
Yeah,
we gonna let this thing shake now. But the Wolfpack need a miracle. They need a miracle.
I see a lot of people saying no one wants to work anymore, and I see a ton of help wanted signs being posted and people looking for what they're looking for. So in Raleigh, In Raleigh, offense wanted. Offense.
But here's the thing. I think you don't even need offense wanted. I think you need you're doing it wrong. Consistent offense wanted.
Let me start here.
Help the church, Lord. Yep.
There we go.
I think you want consistent offense because there are flashes. Like you don't put up 40 by yourself. I think you just truly need consistent offense.
This offense is wanted so bad. Do you know what Robert and I said in their last media availability last week?
Let us know.
We are glad that Kevin Concepcion is playing the way that he is, and anybody else who wants to make plays, you're invited to do so. Be relevant when your number's called. Offense wanted, please. Hear ye, hear ye. I have a $500 bounty on a touchdown in Raleigh.
He didn't say be relevant. He didn't say be relevant when your number's called.
He did. He in fact
didn't say that. Let's run the tape because
he in fact did.
Dang. Because if I had heard that, I would have been like, dang, coach, tell us how you really feel.
But honestly, I'm looking at him kind of funny in the light because why your tight end's not playing? If your receivers can't catch, you got another. But that's neither here nor there. NC State's defense, they're a lot like Wake Forest right now. But the difference is they've been consistently this team that the defense carries the water every single year. I know Peyton Wilson back is tired. I know that man play.
He has to be tired because that's why he don't make it through seasons. Of course, he's tired.
Oh, now if I say something about Mac Brown geriatric self, I'm the bad guy.
No,
I'm the bad guy.
But if you gonna let your jokes fly, I'm gonna let mine fly too. Let your dog make it through a season first. Before we talk about how much the defense has to put in work, I mean, it's clear that I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. All I'm saying is one of our teams got an ACC lead tackler. One of our teams do. You know what I mean? Not everybody. So
number 9, and we're gonna get to ours, but it's gonna take a second. All right.
It's gonna take a second.
Let's talk about number 8, Virginia Tech. King Leo, who's watching live, he should feel good about this because 8th place is never where I thought we would be. Amen.
I feel great about the Hokies. I feel great about the Hokies.
We know you do. Oh, see how you switch up. I just want everyone to see how he switch.
What?
It went from Georgia Tech to Virginia Tech. Like your whole energy shifted.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
I am a man who is okay with admitting new information is available. And upon that new information being seen, it's a little different. Things looking a little different. Let me tell you, I thought that Phil Dracovic was going to have the impact that Kyron Drones is having. Kyron Drones is a leader on that team. If you watch them, even when they were getting the brakes beat off them at Florida State, body language was there, poised, mature, a leader. That man, he got a rocket for a right arm, legs that don't quit, a running back next to him in Tootin that's getting it done, a defense that's playing some Virginia Tech defense at times. I'm not going to say they're playing Virginia Tech defense all the time, but at times they playing that hard-nosed, lunch-pail Virginia Tech defense. Man, I'll tell you what, that's a team there. That's a ball team there.
So they're a back half team. They're going to be a back half program.
Oh, well, they're not as much of a back half program as the team that we have coming up. But yeah, I believe so.
I'm asking.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
I absolutely believe so.
They're going to be in the top 5 when the season's over?
That's a little tough. I don't know if I
the way the ACC is going, I feel like it's
I'll tell you this. They'll be on the cusp. If they continue on this, or if they continue what they're doing now, and I don't even mean like keep improving and getting better. If they continue and hold where they are now, they'll at least be on the cusp of that top 5 to 6, 7 range.
Okay. All right. As long as they live in the top 10, I feel like that's progress.
And for what we thought they were going to be, we 100%. just knew like, oh, the 2 Virginia teams going to be the worst ones in the conference.
One of them is coming out to be true.
Oh, yeah. Very, very. Well, I mean, I don't know.
One freaking. And that's why that was the worst loss.
Little top 10 win.
Ever.
All I'm saying is this. A top 10 win in a bad season is more than sprinkling parsley. That's like mixing Saison in that thing when you first start cooking it. That's like marinating that thing in the Saison. There's a whole different flavor at that point. It's a whole different flavor.
Is it if it's a fraudulent top 10 team, you still holding it true? All right.
Fraudulent top 10. Real top 10. Don't matter. Did the AP vote him in? Okay, then. That's the top 10 team.
Oh, Lord help the church. Let's talk about PrizePicks. We all know that when you are trying to do daily sports fantasy, we're trying to make it easy and exciting for you. It's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of players, including pros and sharks, you pick more than or less than 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch winnings roll in. PrizePicks offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. PrizePicks now offers Apple Pay for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Go to prizepicks.com/lockedoncollege. Use code lockedoncollege for a first deposit match of up to $100. It's prizepicks.com/lockedoncollege using promo code lockedoncollege. Kenton Gibbs and I talking through some ACC Power Rankings after week 8. We're here ready for the 7, the heavenly 7. Boston College, I'm here to tell you right now, feeling good, feeling great. Never thought I'd see the day. The Fighting Halfleys are meaning business.
Can I quote Fred Hammond on this show? Let me.
Don't you always?
Late in the midnight hour, God's gonna turn it around and around and around and around and around and around and around, because this team here, is that not Fred Hammond? We're blessed. Oh, okay.
It is.
All right. Just making
but
sure.
He's not the first person. He's not the first person that said that, but we let you have it, Saint.
Oh well.
Okay.
Well. I heard him say it. What are we gonna do about it? Anywho, Castellanos, primetime TV. The offense is figuring it out around Castellanos. And I'll tell you what, the defense is doing enough. The defense is surely doing enough. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that I actually do want to say about that defense, though. Mm-hmm. They are kind of getting lost in the shuffle of like how good this team has been and what the resurgence has been in terms of like, oh, how is Boston College winning these games? What's happening? Look at their winning streak, right? You start off the season 1-3 and you win 3 straight. Well, how? In none of those games did they allow over 24 points. Mm-hmm. Not a single one. That defense is showing up. They are getting to the quarterback. They are creating turnovers. And with that being said, hey, Halfley, you're saving your job, brother.
Which is surprising that the defense is something there you had to be like, all right, they're doing enough, and because of who Halfley is. But we'll say that they're better off without Phil. Definitely that. You have someone who's very bought into Castellanos, which is half the battle. And I think it's just like chopping wood, right? You just brick by brick, and they're slowly putting together a decent season, and they've got a long way to go. It's a long, long season. They got a couple more games left where they can still figure it out. So
yeah, for sure. And at the end of the day, when you look at this Boston College team, you think to yourself, hey, they've been battered, they've been bruised, they've had games where they looked like they didn't know what they were doing out there and they weren't fielding a competitive team. And now all of a sudden to have a 3-game winning streak after that, again, impressive work.
Tipping the cap. Number 6, the Clemson Tigers, who honestly, now that we're saying it out loud, as many conference losses that they have, they should be talking to Syracuse right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. If they lose, I don't care if it's NC State homecoming. I'm gonna be at the game. I'm gonna be there. After the Kappa-Zai tailgate, of course. You know what I mean? If you in Raleigh, go ahead. But
you ain't gotta yell at us to let us know that. But go ahead.
I'm gonna be at the game in person. And let me tell you this: if Clemson loses that game, you're going to the gulag. And I'm not talking about Call of Duty. There's no coming back from this one. Buddy. You are out of there. You're toast. Your eggs are cooked, buddy. So, Cade, you better figure it out. You better figure out how to hand off the ball on the play where you're supposed to hand off the ball. You better figure it out.
Don't you put that on that young man. You better talk to Dabo and Riley. And you better talk to him.
Dabo said that it was a give. Dabo said that there was no option on that play, and he just went out there and freestyle.
So you mean to tell me that Cade is a sophomore? He said, F what Dabo said, I'm going to do what I want. You really mean to tell me that?
He said, it's my ball. I can do what I want.
Okay.
I'm a big girl now. That's what he said. He got real spicy. And guess what? That spice cost him an L.
Did Dabo trust his quarterback? And then when his quarterback did not make the decision that he wanted to, he definitely threw him on the bus and said it was him?
Here's why I don't think that's what happened. In the Florida State game, he had the greatest opportunity of all time to throw that quarterback under the bus. He had the greatest opportunity of all time to say that bubble screen that he threw, that was because, he just didn't know any better and he made a terrible decision there. Instead, he said, we as a coaching staff have to take away things like that so that there's not an opportunity for him to make an error there. And that tells me he's okay with taking the blame as a coaching staff for screwing the pooch. However, in this one, he said, oh, no, baby. We told him hand off the ball. The play was for him to hand off the ball. Shipley was expecting to hand off the ball. He just pulled it.
So sometimes, but see, had he pulled it and had he scored, had he done what he needed to do, then it's like, okay, he's the hero. Yeah.
As the old phrase goes, winning covers over a multitude of sins, right? Like when you're winning, when you're undefeated, the ice is a little colder, the jokes are a little funnier, the ladies are a little prettier, everything is better when you win it. All of a sudden, when you lose, it just,
the steak is funky, I guess.
A steak the size of your back from the best steakhouse in the city tastes like Salisbury steak, tastes like a hungry man dinner. You know what I mean?
Don't be hating on Salisbury steak.
Oh, my God. Stop playing. We are
you
not
don't like Salisbury steak?
Absolutely not. There are two meals that if my shorty ever made them for me, I know like that's her way of saying I hate you and I want to break up with you, right? Meatloaf, Salisbury steak. Those are the two.
What's wrong with Salisbury steak?
What's right with Salisbury steak? Let's start there. What's right about it? You tell me that.
It's a different kind of meat. It's just the same thing with some gravy on it.
Again, if a woman make me Salisbury steak, I understand that you hate me. You could have just said, Kenton, I do not like you. This relationship needs to end. You did not have to do it that way.
How many Salisbury steaks you had in your life? We can talk about it later. We can just hold that because we're getting to number 5 because things are getting a little spicy. Salisbury steak right now. I like
Salisbury steak. Things are getting spicy. Go ahead.
I feel like this team right now is more of a sirloin, if we will, type of team, right? They could be filet mignon, but they just it's giving sirloin. A
little bit of ground chuck, if you will.
Ground chuck, okay? They want to be a ribeye, right? But they keep falling short. And that's Miami, okay?
Yeah.
Big win. Don't take it away. Quarterback didn't play. Still were able to figure it out. Top-notch defense. Tip your cap. You still have that Georgia Tech loss on your belt. You're still trying to figure out how you are as a program and the health of your program. I still feel good about it, right? I still feel like they could play spoilers to the team that's been riding the tide very high right now.
Yeah, I agree. And not only can they play spoiler, there's a path for them to make the ACC championship game. That is still very much on the table for this team, but they have to be immaculate in doing so. And I don't think Mario and company got it in them, with all due respect.
Why do you like to do this? Because we be sitting here have perfectly fine shows, and you're like, yeah, let's piss off the one fan base that's about to go ape in our comments. Like, why do you do that?
I don't care if they go ape, gorilla in the coop, finna pull up to the zoo. I don't care about none of that. I don't care how mad they get. At the end of the day, I'm giving Miami their respect. I said that there's a chance that they could go to the ACC championship game. If they end up in the ACC championship game this year, would I be wildly shocked and surprised by that? No. But would I be like a little bit like, wow, they pulled it off after what they looked like early? Absolutely.
Slam Tanner said Miami is flank steak. And I just feel like, you know what? I don't have the time or the energy, okay? Let's talk about number 4 here. North Carolina.
Little high, you ask me.
It's crazy that you say that because we definitely have a pre-show where you can have the conversation and you put them right there. So I don't know why you act as if you get up here and act totally different and a little brand new, but you get in front of these cameras and the lights come on and you want to act crazy, but that's fine.
See, and you know what? See, fellas, this is why you don't act out in front of your old lady if you she the type to call your car, because that's what Candace just did. She's the type of person that when you like, yeah, I wear the pants in the relationship, she just goes, so you wear the what? You'd wear a blouse if I told you to. Like, she's that type of person clearly here. But with that being said, UNC is where they are because, they've had a really, really great season by pretty much anybody's standards so far outside of an absolutely abysmal loss in Keenan. Oh, my God. What happened, UNC?
You stop yelling when you get it out, but get it out. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's talk more quietly to simulate the crowd noise at Keenan Stadium. Hello, everyone.
Wow.
This team did not generate enough
pressure.
Boy,
you better bring the heat.
They made Money Musket look like he was a Heisman candidate. And Virginia moved the ball up and down the field at will on that defense, which many people, including myself, told y'all was fraudulent. So golf clap as we would in Keenan Stadium.
You really be bugging because it goes from like tip your cap to UNC's defense. They've done a great job stopping the run. They improved so much, blah, 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 to I told you guys they weren't that great. And da, da, da. It's okay. We got 3 more teams, so I'm not even gonna let you get nothing else out. We done heard all we gonna say about North Carolina, and you ain't gonna say them not name more times on this show. I promise you that.
Absolutely, and we'll keep the Keenan Stadium energy. And
there we go, because I will proudly put you on mute. All right, number 3, the Duke Blue Devils.
You know, it's so unfortunate. We talk about health and how like that's a part of this thing so much.
Riley's ankle, Lord, please just get it back to a little bit. He need to get what Kelsey got.
Big man upstairs, you know what I need. He know what I need. He is my shepherd and he know what I want.
What does he need?
I need for Riley to stay out, okay? Beelan is terrible. He's terrible.
Beelan's terrible because he's only played 2 games. There's opportunity for him to improve. Because at the end of the day, that run game is going to be detrimental for everybody. I don't care what you say. The run game will still have been there. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I believe you. Look at me believing you. You convinced me. You sold me, if you will. You know, we have a segment on
Beelan was moving the ball. Oh my God.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Candace. What was the score when Riley Leonard exited the game?
2017.
What was the final score to the game?
I mean, let's not do that.
No. I'm just asking questions. I just need to know the answer here.
Go ahead, tell the people.
It was 38-20, correct? So if Riley Leonard scored 20 points, in what was it, a quarter and a half or so?
And if Johnny had 5 apples, what is your point? I think it's the defense. They scored. Henry can't do nothing about that.
Again, you know, at the end of the day,
it's so hard out here.
At the end of the day, that Duke defense is swarming. They're nasty. The interior of that defense, physical as all get out, quick. They big. You know, when they say elephants on parade, that's what they mean. It's actually referencing to offensive linemen on screens. But those big boys can move in space. But then when you talk about the offensive line, physical. Just beat you up, pound on you. Jordan Waters running behind them. More running about. They got guys. However, they need a trigger man. We leave them at 3 because they were beating Florida State.
Riley is right now hitting the Rice routine. I'm trying to tell you. Okay. He gonna play before the season now.
All right.
He's going to. The way he was begging to play in that game, he's going to play at least one.
Rice method, Glenn Rice, Jerry Rice, don't matter. If Riley ain't in the game, Duke's grits are cooked.
That's great.
Well done.
Okay. All right. Louisville, number 2. And, you know, they didn't play. Yeah. But the way we saw from other teams, I feel like Louisville's right up there. And they're in the conversation for an ACC championship, despite that Georgia Tech loss. Not Georgia Tech, I'm sorry. Despite, who did they lose to?
They lost
despite the Pitt loss. You knew what I meant.
And here's the thing. Somebody had to go to. But also, when you look at the context, the full context of that loss, which I'm sure Slam Tanner was a little upset at us not mentioning, right? You play that game without Joe R. Jordan. You play that game without multiple players who are big-time players on that team, and it's disappointing. Yes, it's disappointing. You never want to see that. However, I mean, it's one game. There's a full season. That's it. And also, Bradley at 003, I agree with you. I've said all year that if Plummer gives you 5 elite ones, you'll be good. It's very clear at this point he don't got the 5 in him. He does not, in fact, have 5 of them.
Does he need 5 playing Duke this week?
He's gonna need a at least good game. I won't say he needs elite in this game. He'll need good though. He'll need very good.
Have you met this defense? He's gonna need great. He's going to need excellent.
Here's why I say he needs very good. His receivers are what Duke does better than anybody. They keep everything in front of them, and they make tackles in space. They swarm to the ball, right? Mm-hmm. If Plummer is good, he has electrifying enough guys who he can get the ball to that if Joe R. Jordan is healthy and you get him the ball in space, if he makes one or two guys miss, zippity doo dah, zippity day, L's up in the end zone. You got Huggins Bruce, another guy, super explosive, Jamari Thrash. If it wasn't for those two behemoths of receivers at Florida State, he may be talked about as the best guy in the conference. So I'm looking at this team and saying, you have so many weapons, so many weapons. Your job is not to do amazing things and hit everybody in stride and throw guys open. It's find the open man, get him the ball, let him work.
Number one, a team that, for whatever reason, fans think that I have it out for them. I hate them. I just can't stand them. I just am so bad. And it's so obvious that I don't want them to succeed and be successful. And I just find that eerily and insanely crazy because every week we put Florida State damn near at number one, except when Louisville had a good week. And yet, and still, y'all for some reason think we hate. They can't even get it out. You see me stuttering.
Hate Florida State. I got you. I'm gonna help you out here. Florida State.
Help the church, Lord, because I don't dislike, but I do feel like there are still flaws.
Yeah,
that might not be able to be overcome by some good teams.
There are flaws in this Florida State team, but I don't think that anybody in the conference right now is good enough to exploit it. No. And that's not saying that the conference is bad. That's saying that the things that Florida State does well, they do so well that they can overcome some glaring weaknesses. Like, I think that the only way that you would see them struggle or their problems really be exposed is potentially in the playoffs. Because, again, the guys that they have that can go are crazy.
But okay, we're working on our conference, right? Like, we're working on being that elite level conference, right?
Yeah.
I would hate for us to get an FSU in a college football playoff situation and embarrass us for the
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I would hate for them to get there and then all this we standing behind, we stamping on and and then they get in there and all those flaws come out. I'm gonna be upset.
Can I ask you a question? How many times did Oklahoma get in that thing and get blew out the water?
So you don't care that we get blown out?
If Florida State get there and get blown out, guess what? The ACC still had a pinky in the dough. In the words of one Christopher,
a pinky in the
dough. In the words of one Christopher Aloysius Brown, how you gonna hate from outside the club? You can't even get in.
So we should just be happy. So are we at the level we should just be happy to be there?
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay. I want to make sure. I want to make sure we bring the same energy in week 13.
This is not the ACC being happy to be there. What conference wouldn't be happy to be there? Maybe the SEC and Big Ten. Maybe. That's it. Those are only conferences that being there is not enough. That's it.
Okay.
If the Big 12 get there, they're not going to be geeked up like Fabo off that? Puh, stop it. If the Pac-2, two-pack, if the two-pack gets in there, if the two-pack gets into that,
Washington is on their way.
Hey, listen, I love Lucky Lefty. Penix is looking great out there. But you telling me that if Washington goes and gets blown out, that the Pac-12 will be sitting up here, woe is us. We can't believe it. The conference is dissolving. They'll be happy with whatever they can get. They'll be happy with whatever. Anybody going in there. Come on now. Knock it off.
Florida State could be their last go as an ACC program.
Yeah, I bet.
Going to the college football playoff.
I'm sure of it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tell them to ring the odd out. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me stop before we get more haters. All I got to say is Florida State is sitting pretty at the top. I don't know that anybody can beat them right now, but crazier things have happened, and I would hate for the ACC championship to be really two really good teams, and I hope it ends up being Louisville and FSU because honestly, right now, I don't want a Duke rematch. I don't want North Carolina because I ain't trying to watch that ish. Miami, maybe. I think the rivalry game is going to be enough for that.
Yeah. In the words of Tim's, crazy things are happening. Okay. Crazy things are happening all around the conference every single day. This is what, the third or fourth straight week that a sub 500 team has knocked off an undefeated in conference team. This crazy things are happening. And we're here for all of it because the Coastal brought their coastal craziness over to the Atlantic. And that's what's going on.
They did sprinkle. But I think I'm truly enjoying the non-divisions. I really am.
Yeah. And also, I'm happy that some teams who use excuses like, oh, no, we got put in the Atlantic, can't use that excuse anymore.
That's fair.
You can't use it anymore. And I'm looking at certain universities, including the one that I graduated from and gave 3 attendance to. Congratulations, buddy. No more divisions. Make it happen. No more excuses. Be a champion or don't. But shut up about, oh, we got the tougher draw. We had to play FSU and Clemson. And I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it.
Well, Pastor, I'm excited to see any way it goes and any way it shakes. Looking forward to the ACC championship, however it comes to pass, and we will prep and get all that ready. But for right now, these are our Week 8 rankings. These are how we feel like this conference is shaking out. We got Week 9 to talk about because there are some really great games that are going to shake up these power rankings, and so we hope you come around for that. But what we like to do on Wednesdays and what we will do tomorrow is talk through your comments. So if you have anything you want to air out, if you have any questions you want to ask, drop them in the community page. Make sure you drop them on this episode. We're going to read them. Folks know who are faithful dayers, everydayers, know that we read your comments and we at you. We're going to tell your whole name up in here, tell you all your business. So make sure that you stand 10 toes about whatever you're going to say, because I LaRoyal knows. I'm going to make sure we get it out there. So for Candace Cooper and Kenton Gibbs, we hope you guys have a great evening. Until next time.